This is Alan Jones.
And this is Stephen Kells.
And we're going to play a game of Hubworld Aidalon using the preview decks here. To make matters interesting, because we played a few games, we're going to randomize the Seeker we start with. So we got this D4, we're going to roll it. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1 is blue and it goes from there. So I got a 3, so I will be Goldie Zen.
We got a 2, so I will be
Jaco and Ace. Yeah. Alright. We already got our actions at 3, our shards at 5, and our heat at 0. So we're just going to shuffle and go. So I guess to start the conversation off while we're shuffling, Steven and I got the craziest news last night. And Apple sent us the stats for the podcast. For those of you that are listening to the podcast, we thank you a bunch for that. And I'll let you give the news, Steven.
Yeah, so we apparently are very popular in Denmark. We ranked number 12 for Denmark. I think in the UK we were number 24. And then in the US for 102, I think.
Yeah.
Which I will take. You know, in the US I feel like games are very popular. So definitely really cool to even be in the running, you know, alongside other podcasts, other games. So really cool. Shout out to the folks in Denmark, though.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now that we both played well enough, we're going to be playing with the mulligan rules. And of course, as always, our unofficial commentator, my 2-year-old daughter, Zelina. She says hi. So for the mulligan rules, you get to pick any cards you don't want, you put them to the side, you draw that amount back up to 5, and then you shuffle those cards into the deck after the fact. So it's a selective, it's not an all or nothing, which is nice. Like, I think I take 2. Got 1. Regrets. Immediate regrets. Alright, I'll shuffle those back in. And I don't know if that was a good or bad thing. I was just trying to... Because I'm not even thinking about the matchup as much as just what I think is a good general way to set up, because I'm not even like about to say, well, I played enough games, I can tell exactly what this matchup needs now. Not at all. But the benefit of this game not coming out to 2027 is we luckily have all the time in the world to get these games in. I've yet to try Hub Techie out either. And for those of you that don't know, that's apparently an online source that you can play games online. I might have to play one night and live Twitch stream my my matches, who knows. You could all direct me on how to play better. Or maybe you direct me how to play worse, and that's fine too.
I think I'm going to keep my hand, so I'm good there.
Alright, so then we will... Oh, I guess we should figure out who starts first, and we'll just use this as the first turn marker.
Well, that's going to be a tough one to beat. Oh, alright. Time to that. 3, let's see. Can I do better than a 3? No, I cannot.
So, okay, I will be the first turn player. Alright, so I can't delve on my first action. So with that in mind, I'm going to put stage that card face down there, and then that'll go to 2 actions. And I didn't spend any money to do that, so it is to you. Okay, I am going to do a delve because Goldie wants to start with that aggressive push on forcing multiple delves back and forth to prevent you from giving me 3 shards. So I'll go towards the deck there. So instant window, anything?
I have nothing.
Okay, so we'll travel down to 3 steps if you got nothing, and then right before we hit the deck, I will pay 1. So that goes down to 4 shards and give you 1 heat. And then let's see what that top card is. A disagreeable inspector. That's the one that -2s, right? Yeah. I'll pay the 2, and that goes to exile.
That was your action.
It was. So I'll go down to 1 action. 1 action, 2 shards, 0 heat. Okay. So I have fewer heat than you, so as an action, I will exhaust this lovely lady and gain 3 shards and go back up to 5. 'Cause that seems like a good trade to have. And then it is your action. The dice, for those of you that haven't got a chance to play with these preview decks, I'll go ahead and go over the Seeker's ability. So as an instant speed, I can gain a shard, or as an action, if I have fewer heat than my opponent, which he had 1 and I had 0, I can exhaust, which is tap, and gain 3 shards, which I did. This is bad because what Jacko and Ace does is he can draw a card at instant speed whenever he likes, which is nice. And as a reaction, as you approach a district, so you're approaching one of the districts, you can gain a heat to gain 2 shards and draw a card. So his reactive ability to just immediately gain like heat and for shards and cards makes it to where Goldie is just always going to be on point. It is a very unfortunate matchup, though I'm sure there's going to be times when we roll out in the future and I get completely screwed by the dice too, so it'll even out.
Yeah.
Your action.
Debating whether I should.
Well, this
in heat, because I know.
Yeah.
I'm kind of the opposite of. I'm kind of at a disadvantage.
Well, you've already let me gain the 3 this turn, so
it's like, what's 1 more?
But,
and I can get you to spend more shards than you if you try to increase heat on me.
Yeah, so I can't really increase heat once you start giving yourself heat. I mean, it saves me money, but it also. But I will say this: one thing for our viewers to kind of take note of is because he's the last turn player. Once the switch is over, he'll be the first turn player. So this action will also give him another action right afterwards, without my ability to take an action interdispersed. So we're still, as Team Hisshou, we believe this is a fundamental, pivotal role to learning the game how to take good last turn, first turn swings, because it's 2 actions without the ability of the opponent to intercede. We could be wrong. Could be a fallacy to think that that's more important than it actually is, but we think it's really huge to learn how to take the last action, first action swing. That you can get more out of it if you do really good actions in those moments.
Yeah, basis is definitely like how you structure your actions is key. But I think I'm gonna delve on your commons as well.
Nice. Do I have any instance? I do. I'm going to forge at this instant window. I'm forging my shard winner, so that costs 3. I go to 2. Then, because it's in the council path, it gets +1 shard collection icon, so it taps for 2. I'm going to immediately tap it for 2 and go back to 4.
That was it?
It's probably everything, honestly. Now you can come through.
Okay, and then I have something I have a moment card.
Okay.
It is Smooth Handoff. I'm going to choose player. I'm going to choose myself. And I'm going to lose 1 heat and draw a card. So
Nice.
hopefully that will benefit me in the long run. And then my archives. But they're
Nope, it goes to your exile.
Okay, yeah.
It goes face up and play.
Yeah. And then if you have no other instance in these windows, I travel.
Yep, go for it.
I'm gonna spend the 1 shard to increase your heat.
Nice. And no, that's not 10. We just only had trying to keep the matching set here, so I'm using the 10s and he's using the 1s. So it's just 4, not 40, and 10 is 1. So
Exactly. And then we'll look at the top card.
survey says a Barbican gate. Man, that's pricey, but it's also really good to not be in play. Yeah, every time you have to confront that.
Wow.
You have to pay 1, and then have to pay 4 to get rid of it at that point. And you have to possibly give me shards.
Yeah, that's rough. So it's like, is it worth holding?
I mean, it takes you to 0. I can't help but think that's not great when I'm sitting at 4 still. But I could be wrong. Like, I don't know, man.
Yeah, what am I hiding? So I think what I'm going to do is actually pay the 4.
Oh, wow.
Knock that out of there, and then play Fun Run.
Nice.
Because after you reach commons, I get to gain 3 shards. So
Nice.
it's actually very serendipitous that I have those in my hand. So going back up to 3, and then exhausting my last action.
In the words of Billboard Top 40, I'm hanging on a moment here with you.
So I think with that is.
Now, did you want to, at instant speed before the turn
I guess
ends,
I should draw
draw a card? Yeah.
Still remembering.
Because you only got 2 cards, so it'd be good to at least kind of get closer.
Exactly.
Alright, so then we'll straighten everything up, including our Seekers. And then we'll gain 3 actions back. We'll gain a shard. So that'll take me to 5. Do nothing with our heat. And then we draw a card. And then the first turn passes. Rough because now by what he did I'm actually a little in a negative spot. Now if he starts using his ability, Goldie's back online, but now I'm like 1 zip on him there, so I have to play catch up as it is. I'm going to stage a card. Stage it there. Then I'm going to forge it because that's instant. Paying 2, so I'll go to 3. Then after this card is forged, stage a card, so I get to stage another card, of which I'll place it right there. Right there, actually. And then, just to prevent you from... I'll actually hold off, because if you came at the shard winner, I could just tap him and gain the money then, so it's not like I need to do it like now or lose it. So paid the 2, did the go down to 2 actions, and it is yours. I'm going to draw a card, Kells now, as an instant. I will stage a card and go to 1, and it's back to you.
I think I am going to delve your comments. I'm going to, as I approach the district, exhaust Jake and Ace to gain 1 heat. Gain 2 shards.
Alright. Any instance. You said commons?
Yep, delving comments.
I got no instance here.
Okay. And then I want to discover said card.
You have discovered the Eye Enforcers, which on discovery, if this card is in your grid, archive the card. Archive 2 cards at random from engaged player's council. So I will do that. So we will... Hold on. I want to... I don't think I get to look at your cards.
Yeah.
We'll look after this match, so we'll know in the future how it
I don't
goes.
think so.
Yeah, I think it just goes face down, and I have to like later on explore what for them. Them Eye Enforcers detaining your hand there.
Yeah. And then,
Actually, you got a clear shot all the way through, bud.
alright. I'm going to spend 2 shards to increase the weapons.
So now I'm at 2. 4. Okay, first card is an agent. Cipher. Engaged player exhausts their seeker. Since you can't pay the cipher cost, you're not able to pay to cap him.
That's unfortunate, so I just have to pass on him. Unfortunately.
But you know where it's about to go, because
Yeah.
that's the top card of the deck. Goes straight to my hand.
Very true.
And the next, likely a trap, because it's a moment, you can't archive it. The only time you can mess with in a delve with a moment is if it's in the archives and it's just free to get rid of. Which we learned when we were playing the last time, not on stream, but when we were first learning the game, we were like, how does that even work? So
exactly, yeah, that was a little bit of a trick there.
So it goes back in the same order on top of the deck. Well, you know what my next 2 cards are.
That's true. You've got your last action for the turn.
So we'll drop you to 0. I mean, it needs to be delve. There's no other way around that. I gain 2. And because my last action has to be to delve, I won't have an action this turn with Goldie to be able to get that 3. So I'll go ahead and gain 1, so 3 total. That'll take me to 6. And then I'll delve into the commons. That's the word. So I'm not knowing if I'm going to discover yet or not. Shoot. You know I will. Let's take a look at it.
Alright. I'm going to face up. I have a Barbican gate. It says...
you get to gain...
Yeah, confront me.
Well, it's not confronted. It's the discovery.
Okay, discovery. Yes, I get to gain 1 shard out
Nice.
of that discovery, and there is a...
So I don't have to pay the Barbican case because it's not forged, but I have to choose either to pay for or put it face down again.
Yes.
And paying that 4 will hurt because at the same time I want to have 2 to give your heat up, and that would put me at 0. So that will actually go back face down. You got a free shard for me poking my nose where it didn't belong. I still think that's okay because I got 2 of your 3 cards in your hand.
That is true.
Man, okay, so I used to like look at this Enforcer's card and think, man, that's just so expensive. I don't know if I'll ever play it, but the act of just having it face down as a trap card, and then if the situation calls for it, paying the 4 to actually make an obstacle out of it, I think it's still good.
Oh yeah, no, I think the Enforcer's card is probably one of the best cards in the game that I've seen so far. I like the...
I'm a sucker
of it.
for Goldie in what I've seen with Orange, like the Telemill cluster.
Yeah.
I love the idea of I paid 2 to reveal this and I'm getting a card draw each turn, and then the act of revealing it gives me a free stage. So really it's a 2-for-1 stage card that gives you a card draw each turn on top of that. So.
Oh, 100%. I think it's very...
and at a 4 cost to get rid of it, like...
Yeah, you gotta do something.
Like, I could see a 4 cost if it was like gaining a shard or 2 shards. Like, you would go, okay, yeah, he's gaining money. It's an equivocal thing, but I feel like it's innocuous that it's a card draw. Like, people are like more... In my head, I think a lot of people will more likely be like, well, he's just drawing a card. I don't want to pay 4. I'm going to let him draw a card. But that's innocuous.
True.
In and of itself, because as you've seen, hands with only drawing 1 card a turn could be... Card draw is huge. Just as huge as shard.
Oh yeah. Yeah, shards aren't almost everything. More card draw.
Yeah. So that's wild. Okay. So we did that.
Yep.
And then I will, like I said, pay that 2 to go to 4 and give you a heat, so at least even. And then let's see what we got. Telemill cluster. Well, I'm not going to spend the 4 there and watch you get an agent on the next one, so that'll go to the side, and then a smooth handoff. Man, that's going to make next turn suck so much, but it goes back on. Alright, well at least you're not drawing it immediately, but you could easily tap your dude bro for that, so that'll take me to 0, at which point we straighten all these up. Shard winner doing God's work out here. Gaining me 2 a turn.
Yep, you'll be first turn player.
So I will get 1 shard that'll take me to 5. And reset my actions to 3. Here it is. And then draw a single card. What's that?
Can you recall where chart I was at? Where I increased it? 5 or 6.
I think you're at 5. So that'll put you at 6.
I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, no. I think that's where you were, buddy. Did you draw your one card? Yep, you
I
did.
did.
So I will go ahead as my first action. I will an instant go ahead and draw a card. Because with like you saw, he had Fun Run being a card in the deck. I feel like there's no incentive to wait on a card draw instant speed because you might have the Fun Run. And since I'm planning to delve as my first action, running the chance of getting that Fun Run and getting some extra money seems like a good idea. Okay, so I'm gonna delve against commons, and do you have any instance here since defender gets first?
I do not have any instance to play.
I'm gonna go ahead and gain the 2 just to have money and go to 7 right there off that, and then
Actually, you know what? I do have instance. I'm gonna just go ahead and pay the 4.
we'll pay the 1.
Yeah.
It's totally doable. I figured that's what you were going to do, so then I have to confront it. So, engaged player may exhaust a forge card in their grid. If they do not, gain 2. So, this is going to be fun. So, you've done that. We're still in the instant window. I haven't gotten into the card yet. So then I will have an instant. I'm going to go ahead and forge this since I need that forge card to exhaust. Pay the 2 for the Dragon Horde. I wanted to save that for a rainy day, but it's kind of surprised you make everything cost more. And then I will go ahead and exhaust this forge card for the confront as I go in, unless you had another instant that you needed.
I do not.
Okay, so then I will confront, so I have to exhaust this card as the confront. Then we go down to here, I gotta pay 1, so I will go to 4. I will not pay the 4 and go to 0 to pay its presence cost. And so, provided we got nothing else, we'll go to heat.
Yep.
And I will pay 3 and go to 1 to give you a heat.
3 heats.
I don't know why I'm trying to raise my heat to 3. That seems like a bad idea.
Come on,
to
you know
me.
you want to.
Alright, and so 3 is like the upper cost of agents in these preview decks, but most of them are 0, 1, 2. So right now the problem I'm struggling with is, in my head, just for the audience in general, and Steven and I are learning the game, so we're not really that worried about being hyper competitive.
Sure.
Just learning the good plays. Do you use her at instant speed in this window to gain 1 to be at 2? So outside, I think 2 agents, you can afford the other 4.
Right.
Actually, no. I think the green one, the Anti-Rose's Tea Shoppy lady and Mr. Cyberpunk hacker dude sitting on the throne purple.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're 4-3-3. So 50-50 you could afford. I don't think it's because you could just draw a card and immediately heat down because that smooth handoff is sitting on top of your deck, and I can't touch it because even with this delve I can't touch moments.
Exactly.
But I think I have to force the issue. If I take it off the table, then there's no incentive for you to do that necessarily because you're not worried about my heat and gaining 3. So, yeah, I think I gotta run with the money I got. So, okay, we'll look at the first card, which is Smooth Handoff.
Yep.
Then the next card, Likely a Trap. So, okay, and then the third card.
Telomere Cluster. Look at that.
Another one. Alright. Well, you get to have all of those, so that was the end of that, and that picks me to 2.
Alright, well. Going to go ahead and delve your...
Interesting.
Go ahead and delve your commons. And as I delve your commons, I am definitely going to exhaust Jacob and Ace to increase the heat to 4.
Yeah.
To gain 2 shards. So in this instant window, I purge your comments.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to play that same token.
That's an action. Costs an action to play. Is it the symbol next to it?
I'm going to pay the 3
Bump me up to 3.
and then I'm going to...
That's why I was curious. I was like, oh, about the delve, because then that precludes your ability. You kind of give me the 1 Goldie again.
Yeah, I'm okay with giving you possibly, an advantage here. I really want to dig through your...
I don't blame you. So we got the waterway entry. This is after this card is forged. Shift it.
Yeah.
And 2/3. 2 for the barricade, 3 for the presence.
On
Yeah, I figured you would be. The transit station. While this card is in your front row, it gets +4 presence. So it makes it 5.
Cost of 1, right?
Yeah. And while this card is in your middle row, it gets +2 barricade. So it's either a 3 barricade 1 or a 1 barricade 5. So it's either a minor like mosquito that you'll never pay to get rid of, or it's oh yeah, I'm gonna pay 3 and then I'm gonna pay 1 just to never have to pay that 3 again.
I'm okay with it still staying,
It's only got a presence of 1, so it would only cost you 1 to get rid of it.
Yeah, I'm just worried, like, do I pick that? Honestly, it's probably...
Well, remember what we said about agents. Agents at 5 out of 6 agents are 3 or less.
True, that is true. Okay, so we'll get rid of it.
Yeah, I figure that one seems like a good one to get rid of. And then you find calling in favors, so nothing you can do about that because it's a moment.
Well then,
Put those back in the order they were.
go down to 2 actions.
Well, at this point, my action seems simple and easy. Gain 3 shards.
Yeah.
So that is exactly what I will do and go to 4. So then it is back to you, and I assume you're probably going to bleed a heat.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do.
Oh no, he's still tapped from using it.
You're fine. I might touch that. Yeah, I'm gonna just pay the smooth handoff cost and lose 1 heat.
And draw a card. No, that's right, you're going first. Oh, no, I was first. So I delved as my first action. Yes, you should be at 2. Or no way.
No, I'm at 1 because I.
Oh yeah,
delved
so
you
yeah,
and
I'm at
commented
1.
And then played mine.
I didn't move mine.
Yeah, so this is your last.
Yep. All right. Stage. there. And that'll take me to 0.
Alright, well, I think I'm going to attempt to delve the council. So I'm going to start here. Do you have any movements?
I'm going to veil him, pay the 3. Because he's got no discover. So. Man, I wish I had one more action because he has an instant speed exhaust this to unexhaust your seeker and he gave another 3.
Yeah, that would be bad.
That could have been fun. Well, no, we were both 3 now, so I couldn't use it anyway. But I will gain 1.
Oh, just to immediately gain 1?
Yeah.
Okay. And then I will just follow it all the way down.
So you are not able to. You're not able to score them because you can't pay the cipher cost, but I don't think it stops your run. I think it just means all you have to do is pay the 4 for the barricade. So you could choose to stop instead of paying that 4, because you're obviously not going to have the 1 to
Okay,
score.
so exhausted cards
Still have the barrier cost. Yeah.
Okay, well then I think I'll just
Stop there.
stop where I'm at, yeah.
Because he's 4 and then 2 because of the Dragon Lord.
Yeah.
So.
And then before, I guess I end my action. Forge just player to draw cards itself. And then
You can gain a money off of it too.
And then what's the max hand size? Is it 7?
It tells you on your card itself. So it says you have 3 action on your Seeker card. Your Seeker. So your Seeker will tell you that you got 3, a max hand size of 5, and a max shard size of 10.
Okay, so right now.
They're all in agreement, so it's always going to be that until such time as they make a Seeker that does something different.
Right, that's true. Okay, so you will send everything.
Okay. Gargala Larga, saving me from a delve. Let's draw 1, gain 3, gain the 1, shard to go to 3, and don't do anything with my heat. So, and then I pass that to you. Well, I know where I need to go. Oh, you have more than 5 now. I know there's been a lot of speculation and back and forth, and I'm not saying I have the answer, nor is Steven, but we'll give our opinions on this. There's been people that have felt that maybe it's a bad idea to be playing your agents on the grid face down at all. Some say it's okay to play face down, but not flip and forge, and then some say forge. I feel like it's a case-by-case basis on the matchup, but overall you shouldn't exclude the possibility of putting an agent in play just because it tells the opponent where it is. In fact, he has to go through all of this to get Gargala Larga. Sorry. He has to spend 5 because of the Dragon Horde. which is a lot. And he has to keep his seeker untapped to do it, because he has to tap his seeker that turn. That's literally hindering a lot of his turn, and he has to do that on my council path. And the assumption is that in these 5 cards, there is no seeker. I probably built this up because I'm not worried about my hand right now. So even if he goes through all that to get the agent, he's not getting anything really from my hand, maybe. Whereas he's been hitting commons heavy, so I've left that. That's not where I put the agent. So, that's my 10 cents there. What is your thoughts on agent play in the grid, face up, down?
Oh, I think agents should be played on the grid. I think it should force your opponent to discover cards along your district or as they encounter or delving in each district. I think there are strategic plays. We have to remember that when we're playing this game, right, we have 3 different districts that we can delve: our archives, our council, our commons. So, in one of these piles, statistically speaking, there could be an agent either out here on the grid, in our archives, in our commons, or in our council, right? So it could be in our discard pile, our hand, our deck, or out here on the field. And I think it just leaves that extra factor of maybe there's something out here being hidden in plain sight that's going to help maybe throw off our opponent from snooping around our board. And it'll also make them think twice about ignoring potentially staged cards that are out here on the grid. I know there's maybe a fear of like, hey, maybe I don't want to discover something for the fear that it may give my opponent an advantage, but I think it's going to help by leaps and bounds to have your agent out here, and it also sometimes may cause your opponent to like tunnel vision, right? Oh, I see that agent now, it's there, it's out there now, whether the opponent found it just by taking a gamble, or
right.
maybe the player forging them for the advantage that the seeker may have while also in play. So I think there's a little bit of a dependency or potential dependency, depending on how you look at it, to keep your opponent guessing as to why even why the agent's there. I think there's a lot of strategy to it, and again, we're all looking for, I guess, all these agents. So I think like it may give you options as to, do I go after that agent that's in plain sight, or do I go after them in another route, or maybe that agent's there to hide from other agents that are in their district, right? So I think there's a lot to it from a strategy perspective, and I love that. That's why I really love this game, and I think it again adds an extra dimension to things that are already kind of different about this game. So.
Right. I could easily agree to all of that.
I think my next thing is what should I do next? I think I need to at the very least exhaust all the over here. So
Mm-hmm.
3 shards, and then I am going to.
No matter how many times I play this, I always have the same level of enjoyment. This game is so good. I know it seems self-serving because we're doing the podcast, we're doing this, obviously, that we have an incentive to say that, but I mean, the reason we're doing the podcast, the reason we're doing this, is because Steven and I feel how, to us, this game is so good that it gives us, we both have full-time jobs. I have a family with 2 girls and a wife. He has his own family, and he's in the process of trying to pack bags and boxes up for a move this weekend. We're here because we love this game so much, and this is the time we could find to play it, and we wanted to share our love with you guys. So
absolutely. And again, when you got a game so different and unique as this, I think it also just shows like how much games can bring people together. So definitely really excited to be doing this today, and showcasing again our love for this game and playing it. So
you to 2.
Yep.
And then, let's see. I am really torn. I have a couple things. Obviously, I'm wanting to score Ruth here, and I'm wanting to do it before he can get too much economy out of it, because he doesn't have a shard economy on his board state, whereas I, at this point, got 1, 2, 3, 4 a turn. Or, God forbid, he lets me get up on heat, I could get 2 goldies a turn with Gargala Laga, and that would be 6 a turn.
Right.
So that, I mean, it would be 2 actions, but... I mean, it's 2 actions to gain 4 off calling in favor, so
exactly.
2 actions for 6 seems pretty damn decent.
I agree. No, there's definitely a lot here, I think.
So I think I have to press the monetary advantage with the delve there, is one of the thoughts. But I also want to set up this, like, board state, too, and that is rough. If I don't, correct me if I'm wrong, Auntie Ruth, you have to give up an action as her cipher to score her, right?
If I remember correctly, I think cipher costs don't matter unless you...
Well, if I'm going to score her. If to score her, to steal her, I think the cipher for her is I have to give up an action.
Yeah, but I don't think when you are delving, you have to pay the cipher. I don't think so. I thought, if I remember correctly...
It's only if you're going to score.
Oh, only if you're going to score, okay.
The cipher is an additional cost that has to be paid if you're going to try to score the agent. So even when they're in the archives, it would normally be free. You still need to pay the cipher because that's an additional added on cost.
And when you come encounter her, you just have to pay the barricade cost.
Yes. I would have to pay the barricade, then I would have to pay her 2 and her cipher just to score her. So, like, again, in that conversation we had earlier, while I'm still thinking on my action, so I promise I'm not slow playing, guys. But, what would you rather do? Have it stay in your hand, discard it face down to your archives where it's free, stay in your hand where it costs 2, or stay in your deck where it costs 2, or have it in play where it costs 5? Like, I'm just saying, yeah, I know where it is, but it costs 5 now.
Yeah. And by you not going after it, right, I can gain a shard every round. So it's
It's a
something
2 for 1.
Yeah, this is why, again, I think the game is great in that, it offers versatility. I think Auntie Ruth's a no-brainer in that regard.
I think I stage that, and, sorry, wrong one. Go to 2 shards. Then I'm going to go ahead and gain 2 shards and go to 4. And draw a card. And that'll take me to 2 actions and 4 there. Back to you.
I think in this instance, I'm going to have to go ahead and
It's a Telemel. Nice. I mean, I love that card.
He's so good. To after this card's forward, stage 1 card. And then, let's see.
And I was talking earlier about when we were gushing over this card about how it could be like a 2-for-1. You forge, you stage, forge, stage, and immediately you stage twice in one action. But what he just did is a whole nother level where you're literally holding a free action to stage at the moment of your choosing, because it can be forged at instant speed. So 2 turns from now, 3 turns from when you staged it, you pretty much are. I guess the way to think about it is it literally takes the action you spent to do it and holds it in like a held action, like in Dungeons and Dragons or whatnot. I'm holding my action, and then like you're like, oh, bam.
Yeah. No, I mean that's kind of it too. Like putting stuff out there, staging it is like, yeah, it could be a trap or it could be something for long term.
Because I can see the incentive of holding it face down until the right moment, because then it's face down, it's coercing thought.
No, I agree 100%. I think that's part of the beauty of it too. But I think in this instant, I am going to stage a second card in the comments here. And
Okay.
we'll be there pretty
this one here. And I will gain 1. So it'll put me to 5 and take me to 1 action. So I was waiting to see if his lax action he was going to Jaco up for heat, which he kind of can't because I have the very last action and I would gain 3. But I was curious to see what would happen with it. So that's what I was kind of holding off my delve a little bit there.
We did verify, like when you stage a card, can you replace cards?
Yeah. So when you stage a card, if there's a face-up card there, it goes to your exile because it was face up and forged. If it was face down, it goes to your archives.
And that could even go for agents?
Yeah. Well, I mean, okay. If you had a face up agent, I think your opponent scores it because anytime a face up agent would be like
removed,
it never gets exiled, it gets scored instead.
Okay.
I would have to check on that, but they were pretty clear about, you never exile an agent, it gets scored. So I'm assuming if you did it to yourself, it would be the dumbest idea ever.
I agree with that one. Yeah, it probably would not be a smart play.
But I could be wrong. Who knows? I'll take you to 0, and then I am going. So there's no point to run anti-Ruth right now because I wouldn't have the action to spend because I'm spending it to delve, so I'd be at 0, so I can't cipher her. So I think we just go ahead and take a look at this growing archive. So I will actually delve the archives.
Okay.
Any instance in your instant window before we touch your first card.
Yes. I'm going to play Waterway Fairy. Sure. It says after this card is forged, shift it, although I cannot move it anywhere.
Well, you can shift it left or down, and then the cards switch places. Shift it back there, okay. For this instant window, I still have nothing, so I'm good to choose. I'm going to choose to discover. Let's see what you got. Ding dang Dragonborn. Alright.
And then in that instance,
so that sucks because I kind of want to pay that 3.
Mm-hmm.
I could technically, if I pay 3, I go to 2.
My Waterway Fairy has a barrier of 2.
Yeah.
Is it worth it? Is it not worth it?
I don't think it's worth it right now. Oh, but in the instant window, because I'm about to, well, no, because it's not an instant window, it's a discovery, so you can't tap it.
Can't tap it, yeah. So I was about to think the same thing.
Yeah, my brain had to catch up too. My brain was doing big dumb. Okay, yeah, we'll flip it face down again, and it gets left for now.
And then are you still going to pay the 2 on the barricade cost?
So in this instant window, because now I know what all your cards are, there's no need to tap or exhaust things on the way down. I will gain 2 to go to 7, then I'll spend the 2 and go back down to 5 to pay that cost. Luckily, anything in the archives, guys, is 0. It's free to get rid of. So because of that, I'm actually, luckily, not worried about having money for his guys there. Oh, so yeah, I will pay the 3 to get rid of that and go to 2 and then exile that. Or never mind. No, I'm not. I'm done. I am so very, 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 very done. I still need to be able to pay 4 to get your heat up. So yeah, that's what I.
Oh, you don't want to get rid of it?
And I need to pay money. So I'm not going to pay the 4 for the telemail. I will then pay 4 though to give you a heat because I'm getting the first turn player, so I can immediately gain 3 as my first action with Goldie. So.
Makes sense. And then you want to look at the first 4 cards, right?
Yep.
Which is all 4. So we just start.
Okay, that one gets this. Oh wait, no, it's free. So yes, let's get rid of it.
It's free
to get rid of from archives.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Or wait,
it was free
no,
for moments.
It's free for agents. We'll assume that we have to pay the cost until we know otherwise for that. So yeah, it stays. Moments are free too. So I will get rid of likely a trap. So we do know that much for sure. And Rory and Bug is free, so I will score my first of 3 agents and then the last one. Okay, and we're assuming those still cost until we know better. We'd look after this match, guys. We don't want to sit here with you guys waiting while we sit and read stuff. So, cool beans. Well, I know we're 1 point more point is, so that's a good day. So then that takes it to 0. Then we're gonna go through the process of gain a shard, gaining 3 actions, drawing a card, and everything drinks their Gatorade and gets refreshed. Okay, so obviously, as I said I would do with my very first action, which is not a surprise to anyone, is I will go to 2 and I'll use Goldie for 3 money, taking me to 5. And is there any instance monies? Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and shard runner for 2 and go to 7. So I just think that's an automatic. Just get your money. Got a dollar bills, y'all. Okay. And it is your action. Oh. And this is what we were talking about, like, thinking on that real quick. Knowing that I had the first action there, this delve was great, and I needed to spend that 4, even if it was a lot, because I know it was guaranteed he didn't have an action he could play or a thing he could do to stop me from the 3 as my first action on the following turn.
So I think in this instance, I'm going to gain a shard and draw a card.
Ooh, there's Daddy.
Riser the rat. I'm going to also automatically exhaust to one shard. And then I'm going to approach your archives just because I want to see what's in there. But as I approach your archives, I'm going to gain a heat. So already, I don't think I'm going to be able to
Chase back again.
Yeah, I'm not. Might as well sink in deeper. Yeah, so gain a heat, gain 2 shards, go up to 3.
Okay, I will draw a card as you're approaching archives. Just
Might as well.
yeah, right. Jeez. Alright.
And then
And I don't right now think I have any other instance, so I'm going to let you go all the way down. Did you want to pay 4 for that?
No.
I didn't think you did. Okay, so did you want to give me heat for 4?
I cannot afford it, so I will
Okay.
just look at your card.
It's 1 card.
Yeah, so just so you know what it is. Really just to get that trigger off. And then except for my
I exhaust Gargala Larga to unexhaust him at instant speed. And not worried about using that action right now, I think. I think we're gonna make a run on Ruth. Or actually, hold on. I'm not gonna untap. Well, it's 6 to 1 half dozen together because yeah, we're good. I understand it. So, poaching the instant window at the top. Any instance right now. Of course.
nothing for that first encounter.
Okay. I know where my 2 points lie. I am not curious anymore. I'm just gonna let that stay face down. And if you don't have, do you have anything for the next instant window before the middle?
So before that middle, I'm gonna play likely a trap.
So either, let's see,
Yeah.
let me make sure I read it. After a player completes an encounter with an unforged card in your grid, they may discover that card. They do not archive the top 2 cards of the combo. 1, 2, you get it. Because it was likely a trap. Then if nothing else, I will pass over this one.
Okay.
And then we'll go to Annie Ruth, and I will pay 5 and an action.
Actually, wait. Sorry.
Sure.
I probably just sounded complacent there. I will do something in
Sure.
that middle. I apologize.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
I'm going to forge my canal network.
Nice.
So in that moment, when it discovers that it can exhaust my secret shift card in the player's grid, because
Well, no, it's not discovered now. Discovery is when I look at it.
oh sorry,
So you would get the confront ability though.
yeah, shift an unforged card in a page under its fluid.
So you can move these 2 with each other, this one with that one, or that one with that one, which takes the Dragon Horde off of Gargala Larga for what it's worth. And the short round.
I think in this case, I'm going to move.
Unforged card. That's why I was saying you got these 2 to mess with. You can either do that, you can move this down, switch these 2, or switch the locations of the 2 unforged ones. This one can shift or shift. So,
Yeah, let's shift these two.
okay, and
And then there's a barricade crossing too.
okay, so I'm going to pay the 2, but I'm not going to pay any more. I'm good going straight to victory towards that. But in the next instant window now, I will tap for 2, going back to 7. And then I will pay 3, then 2, and my action. Which when this action finishes, I'll be out. So 3 and 2 is 5. That'll put me at 2. And so I'll score her. And no heat. Obviously don't have enough to pay, but I'll look at 5 cards at random from your hand, one at a time. I think you got 5, so we'll just start. Yeah, I guess that one's fine. No, I'm not gonna pay you. That one, ooh, 3. I do not have the 3. I got 2. Sad days. All right. No. No. Man, you're drawing your agents like Tic Tacs. No. Alright.
Well, you know where they are.
Yeah. Alright. So that'll take me to 0. And you will get 2 actions in a row. Then the next action. So you're getting 3 actions without me doing anything. So.
I probably need it, honestly. So we have 0 shards to play with. I guess it wouldn't be a bad thing to just go ahead and delve your archives. So this way we have 3. So I'm just going to go ahead and delve your archives.
I'm not going to try for the. Well, you need 5. Never mind. The Gargoyle.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll just go ahead and delve your archives.
Okay, I have no instances of negative. Okay. And I don't think you want to pay for any heat. So you see a Dragon Horn, an Eye Enforcers, and an Eye Enforcers.
Wow. Okay. That doesn't really help me much.
But at least now you know you can not worry about the archives for now.
True.
Okay. So then we'll gain 3 actions back. We'll gain a shard, so I go to 3. And refresh everyone. Draw a card. And I'm going to have to discard. And the first turn again. Lose over. So I need to discard cards. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
These cards are going to your archives.
Yeah. That is correct. So obviously, Steven at this point needs to protect his commons run because it's easy peasy lemon squeezy to make a run on Big Boy. But he's like 3 and 3, so he's 6. He's beefy. Cost. But I also can gain 3 off of Goldie, so.
Yeah, it shouldn't take much. It's very easy for you right now to gain shards, really at any
Yeah, any
at
combination.
any point. Yeah, at this point, you know, just openly talking strategy. I need shards. I don't need cards. I can draw, like, yes, having options is great, but if you can't play anything or forge anything, it's like, what's the point of even
My hand starting was this Shard Runner. And I actually pitched Gargala Larga because I didn't want an agent in my starting hand. And was a Calling in Favors and the Telenol cluster, those three. And I was like, so with that, I was like, I'm going to have, and the Dragon Horde. So these three in Calling in Favors, which I didn't play this game because it's the way it turned out, I didn't need it. But with these three, I knew I wanted to try for like, I wouldn't say mid-range, but mid-range is about the closest I could explain to it. I wanted to set up my economy knowing that Goldie would also, I'd have to delve a turn, so I couldn't be like a control player and just not delve and sit back and really build the grid. But half in grid building, half in forcing one to turn Goldies. But then you kind of turned a nail on its head with your really cool play on turn one. So then I was like, I really need to build this infrastructure because he's not going to let me gain an early push lead on heat. So.
Yeah, and right now Gargalarga is kind of posing a threat. Getting home is like, yeah, he's an agent, he's right out there, he's out there in the open, but right now, like, again, that barricade cost is just so tough. I had an opportunity to get rid of him, but I just couldn't afford to pay his costs. So I'm going to exhaust Rise of the Rat to Game Shard. I'm going to exhaust my Telemail cluster to draw a card. And then, I'm going to delve your archives again, and just double down, increase my heat to 6.
Which is so funny because to win the game, I could care less about heat. The guys in play that I need.
Yeah. At this point, it's not even.
So I'll draw a card. Not that you're going to kill that, but I think it's just good habit to have in practice to know to go ahead and make sure to siphon resources as needed.
I agree. Definitely. Good call. But yeah, so I'll look at the top 3.
There's that Calling in Favors and likely a trap, and then of course Dragon Horde, Iron Enforcer.
But you don't have to show me those guys. But
yeah, sorry.
But
I mean,
yeah,
your number's so high that mine is nowhere near.
That's fair. Yeah, but those 2 moments should go in exile.
Oh, yep. You're right. They're gone. So now you just got the ones you know about, the dragon and the 2 Iron Forces. So we instant speed in 2, go to 5. And he didn't have a cipher, right? He just has an ungodly cost.
Yep.
Okay. Goldie as an action, go to 8, and then instant speed or Garla Larga, will tap in, or unexhaust him. And back to you. So that should give me the resources I need for that push. But I may overkill it and use Goldie one more time and then my last action to beat and try to score the point. That way I have all the money I could need for whatever tricks he's got up his sleeve. Because I'm looking at 7 on the board, which is only 1 under what I have. So if he taxes me in any other way in that run, then and him putting that down solidifies my thought. Then I will go to 11. So I never anticipated actually ever having more than 10. So
here you are.
So yeah, we'll move it down here to show that it's 10 plus 1. So yeah, back to you. Yeah.
Because there's just so much value. Like, I find way more value in shards than I do cards, in my personal opinion.
I think it's a little bit, but notice how, like, I got 1, 2, technically
I mean,
3.
this right here is like what's giving
that's
you the
beautiful.
edge. And that's where it's like I feel like I'm just desperately.
Well, like I said at the start of the match, your ability naturally makes my ability online. Like,
Yeah.
so it
Yeah.
that was very unfortunate just to begin with, but I technically 3, because even though it gives you a shard, I feel like this is grid building more than it is shard production, because the point is to presence out everything. It's nice to get shards too. It's like a 2-for-1. It's really good.
And it can also help your agents too. I mean, imagine you had 2 agents next. You know.
Well, originally there was an agent there,
Yeah.
like helping protect it. So,
because it does up and down, left to right.
yeah.
Yeah, so that's like a perfect card.
But even then, so 2 shards. If this didn't give me shards, I would still be playing it there. So 2 shards and then only 1 card.
Yeah.
With a character that's card. So I can yeah, I'm there with you. I think that's like a ratio to me of like, of the 9 cards in your grid, you should probably have 3 cards to shards, 1 card to cards, and then the other 5 cards to grid building, like obstacles or things that you're designing to help you do what you need to do.
I agree. I think I'm going to.
Or maybe 2 and 1. Because I could see like 1, 1, 1, and then spending the other 6 on like advantage development.
I agree. I'm just going to go ahead and come out there and exhaust them. And then, yeah, that's all I can do.
Alright. I think you just gotta take that leap of faith on this one. So yeah, I do. I'm gonna go ahead and declare that run. So I need to exhaust what?
You don't need to. Oh, this is engaged player may exhaust a forge card in their grid if they do not gain 2 shards.
That's what I thought. That's why a Dragon Horde was left there. Nothing. In case somehow you rebuke me, I want to make sure I'm not giving you 2 shards thinking, oh, I don't care, I'm going to win right now. And then I need to pay 1, so I pay the 1, that takes me to 10 even, so 0 with the 10 spot down there. And I'm not going to discover that card because
Well,
No.
in that instant window, I will pay for
Oh, okay. Yeah.
to forge
The Iron Forces. Nice. So then, what is my con front on them?
I would lose one shard and archive one card at random from the Apex Council. But since I don't have any shards to lose, it's
Okay.
a moot point. So, but I do have a barricade cost of 3.
Yes. So I pay 3. That takes me to 7. We're back in the 1 spot there. And then I have the 6, taking me to 1 and scoring me that last agent.
Yep. GG's.
Again.
Yeah.
So we want to thank everyone for watching. We're going to try to, I don't know if we'll record another one today, but at least, we'll release this one hopefully this Friday with episode 2 of the podcast. Probably just going to play some quick games that aren't totally out loud, but thank you guys for watching. We hope you had a good one and have a good day. Bye.
Bye.